Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's Flip Math lesson. Tonight we are continuing our study of division by using division story problems. Please pause the video as you write this title and also copy down your learning objective. Here are listed some steps that will help you when you are solving division story problems. Our first step is to reread the problem and determine what the problem is asking us to find. Then we can predict and estimate the solution. Solve the problem using a rectangular array/area model and the expanded notation method. Step 4. Review your solution to determine if it is reasonable. These 4 steps will help you be successful with being able to solve division story problems. Let's look at an example. The problem reads, a student who helps in the school store suggests selling folders to students in packages of 6. How many packages of 6 folders can be made from 378 single folders? So I have to think, what am I trying to find out? I'm trying to figure out how many packages of folders can be made from 378 single folders. It's always wise to go ahead and write your question in the form of a statement so that you can easily write your answer in at the end. Pause the video as you go ahead and write down your sentence statement that you will use at the end. First, I'm going to walk you through the area model for division. My first step is always to draw my rectangle for the area model. After I have written my equation, pause the video as you write down your equation and draw your box for the area model. After you have drawn your rectangle for your area model, you have to write your dividend. The dividend is the larger number that we're trying to break up into equal groups. So you'll see that I've written 378 inside of my area or space that I'm trying to fill. On the outside of that area is my divisor, my groups that I'm trying to make those 378 equal groups into 6. So I put that number on the outside of my area model. Next, I have to think to myself, how many sets of 6 can I make from 37? You'll see that I've written 60 up here. The reason it's 60 is because the 7 is in the tens place. So I put my 6 up here, and then I have to have a placeholder for that 8. So it becomes 60. Then I have to multiply 60 times 6 and write that right below 378. You'll see that I have 60 times 6 is 360. After I have done that, I have to subtract to see what is left over or remaining. We have 18 that is left over or remaining. So now we have to take that 18 and make that my new dividend. And you'll see that I've added a line to separate, just like for the area model for multiplication. And I'm going to carry that 18 right over to that next space. Then I have to think to myself, how many sets of 6 can I make from 18? Well, I'm thinking of my multiplication facts. I have to think of what times 6 gives me close to 18 or 18 without going over. You'll see that I've written the 3 right here above that 18 because I can make 3 sets of 6 from 18. Now, my final step or my next step is to multiply 3 times 6. Well, 3 times 6 is equal to 18. Then I have to subtract 18 minus 18, which gives me 0. My final step for the area model is to then take what we call our partial quotients and add them together to get my final answer. So 60 plus 3 is equal to 63 packages. So we have 63 packages of single folders that we're going to have. Now I'm going to walk you how to do the expanded notation or the partial products method. You'll hear those names used interchangeably. So let's look at an example of that. First, I have to draw my division bar, another division bar that is different than this division symbol. This symbol right here also means division. Then I have to write my dividend. Remember, my dividend is 378, and I have to write that inside my division bar. On the outside, I'm going to put my divisor, which is 6. Again, I have to think to myself, can I make any equal groups from, how many equal groups can I make from 3 if I have 6? I can't do that. So then I have to take and look at 37. 37, I can make, again, my 60. You're going to see how I'm writing it right above to line up. It has to be 60 because the 7 is in the tens place, so I have to use the 0 as a placeholder. Then I have to multiply 60 times 6. I write my 360 right underneath that, and then I subtract. We know that when we subtract that, we're going to get 18. Again, I'm thinking to myself, how many equal groups of 6 can I make from 18? Remember, we said we can make 3 equal groups. Then I have to show that I'm multiplying that 3 times the 6. 3 times 6 is equal to 18. And then I have to subtract. 18 minus 18 is 0. Now I have to add my partial quotients together. 60 plus 3 is equal to 63. So I have 63 packages. So now going back to that statement at the bottom, 63 packages of folders can be made from 378 single folders. These are the 2 methods that you will be required to use to show your understanding of division. Make sure you have taken notes on both examples and then continue to your practice problems. Tonight you have 3 practice problems to do. You'll notice that it says be sure to use area model and expanded notation to solve these problems. So for both problems you have to use, or for all 3 problems you have to use area model and expanded notation to get practice with both. Because on your assessment, you'll have to be able to show understanding of both methods. Have a great evening.